Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to our power, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Makakadash. Call Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Makakadash. That's the nation in Hebrew, saying all praises to Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Yahweh is the correct name for the God of the Bible, who the world ignorantly called Jehovah, God, or Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. The true name for the God of the Bible in the Hebrew is Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai. I want to give the honors to elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And shalom to all our brothers and Modi pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. To all I believe in this gospel. Shalom. Prayers are from Camp Dreamers, Jamaica. And this lesson, Laws will be entitled, Who Shall Bemoan Thee? It's basically watching this YouTube documentary. It says Puerto Rico is dying. Here's why. And of course, we have the so-called white man in the midst of it, right, being orchestrator. And giving good documentary, brothers can watch it for 42 minutes long, which I watched the entire thing. But a main precept, that has been crying out while watching it is from this precept here in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, and start at verse 1. It says, For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? I know Jerusalem is what? Basically the people, the so-called Negroes, Native Americans, Latinos, alright? And those people over there in the land of Puerto Rico, is predominantly the Ephraimites, of course, of the nation of Israel. It says, For who will have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside to ask, Oh, thou doest? And no nation nor do that, yo. You see me? Through the time period of we can say 70 AD, come straight up with so-called white man and come over here enslave like the so-called natives, the Seminole Indians, and everybody in general that which are basically of the northern kingdom. Nobody never cry out. Is when Esau enslaved and grabbed people from the western coasts of Africa, or not western coast of Africa, the Ishmaelites and the so-called Africans, which are the real Africans, real Africans, them actually team up with them and sold us. It's the reason why in the book of Joel, they say, though Palestinian, what has though, let me see, we don't butcher it. But they basically say, because they basically deliver the whole people to Edom, the Grecians, same difference, Esau basically took over Greece, which I don't know the original Greece or Greeks or whatever are actually of Japhet. Not the Greeks now that mentioned in the New Testament, so to speak. Those are actually Israelite foreigners, and that was following the Greek custom. But during all of the atrocities, during come straight up hardcore slavery, and during the Jim Crow law era and all of that, what take place with these billionaires and Trump right now upon the scene, there's no nation actually coming out and saying, hey, we are the Israelites and we stand with you, and what I'm going to do is actually oppression. None of that shit not happen. You see how America basically these crackers screw over Puerto Rico for gain, and you show you at one point say, the vultures them come in, is to buy up the debt or the bonds for little or nothing. And then what they do is demand payment, which basically put the country in worse situation, which going back to the parable the apostle Gabardi brought out here with Lazarus and the rich man, tell about the dogs come and lick the sword. That's what they do. They always try to capitalize off our downfall, these nations. I remember even I think it's in the Apocrypha. I don't remember exactly where. There was a time when with some nation they come up against it, and all the other nation them come about for ready for buy slaves. So yeah man, find out we can get some of these Israelites as slaves. Nobody no sorry for us, but we people always are sorry for the nations and always look to the nations for help while completely rebelling against the how about Shimei Shai. Just even the other day when Trump is supposed to go in, what? You see a Latinos for Trump, we will vote for Donald Trump. Niggers for Trump. Always, looking out or looking to these heathens. But these heathens now come, now help you. They don't give a frig about you, and it's happened so many times. I wonder when will people ever learn? So these nations, especially the goddamn white man, they give a shit about you. Right? This is let me see. This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. It says, "As for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us." So them look for, and chiefly what them look for help from basically America. And America been sabotaging everybody over here in the West, and it's funny. Because a good document, I think it up on YouTube, it's a rocky document you find at this point, is Life and Death Jamaica. Them go and show it. It's the same thing. There was another documentary I watched earlier, a couple months ago, I believe, showing you another level for them screw over the Puerto Rican economy. Same thing they do to Cuba, same thing they do Panama. And we have so many examples of how the US, squeeze and sabotage politically hitman and all them things there these nations, especially over here in the West, to basically keep them down and them stay afloat. Where it's and basically put us that he can actually walk. I'm gonna just finish this real quick. I'm reading back Lamentations 4 and verse 17 says, "As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching we have watched for a nation that could not save us. They owned our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come." Yeah. He said, "Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They lay wait for us in the wilderness." Right. And them do it also by, one, them enslave we, care over here in the West, and my brothers and sisters over here as well, the Northern Kingdom, that is, them call them Tainos, Tainos, Arawak Indian, Native American Indian, Seminole Indian. Those are bywords. They're actually Israelites, at the end of the day. But them enslave we, rob resources, and then when them claim they give independence, they make some atrocious law, like for example, what I want to the Jones Act or something like that, for basically everything is meant to keep our people down. And then them poison we, you see me? And with the so-called medicine that they actually give us, it's actually more poison, make it expensive. And everything is just out to get rid of our people. Because people say he kept his rod forever. The so-called white man is not our friend, and none of these nations give a fuck about you. Sorry for my French. But it's a true one. You need to get it in his skull, which only like I will get it actually. But in time to come, we'll see where even why Jacob will let loose. Right, but over and over and over, the white man, especially, right, our chief enemy, have shown that he actually hates us. And you still go to him a beg, like, oh, please, Mr. Trump, save us, Biden. Years later, same bullshit. None of these nations not give a shit, especially the white man. It says, back to Jeremiah chapter 15. I'm gonna forget another precept. So, go over. I don't remember exactly what that day, I don't remember exactly where that precept is, but it's like that say, nation them basically say, really eat them actually, that they can bend no box and can basically walk on with, right? So then take advantage, that's how you stop taking advantage of the underprivileged and put in leaders as well, where we basically sell out, right, for ultimately keep forth their money making. Because it's all about to make money. To capitalize off for us here, while the citizens of the country basically make nothing. right? Constantly suffer you. But that's what the so-called white man been doing throughout all the years. And these nations, when them come, what them do, them come and set up shop. And brother, I say them something. You know, just taking the money, and when them sell you something, or use you as with for manufacturing or tourism industry, all the money with them make you, what them do, they don't care about to them country. They ain't even crap boy, they even live amongst you, right? So back to Jeremiah 15, read back 5, it says, "For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest?" And I remember even at this point, in this documentary, they actually brought forth how Hurricane Maria actually came as well, and basically devastate Puerto Rico. And the Puerto Ricans, which are actually Ephraimites, come out and say, anybody, if you hear me, we need help, and the help now come. You see me? Look at how they did Haiti. They claimed that they were actually sending help and the so-called relief, Haiti were actually smuggling picnic. Right? The church people, the good Christians, crackers, were actually smuggling kids here. Taking advantage of their privilege. When them come in, they are basically a bunch of vultures. Right? But that the scripture said I'm glad to see the day, or the day of our overthrow. Let's get it as well in Look at Lamentations. Once it at me, it's like them dream come true. Lamentations chapter 2, sort of 15. It says, "All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, Is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth?" Can you look with the people as niggas, speaks, or immigrants, violent people. When Esau is the one that's actually responsible for a lot of it. Put the bottle to a neighbor's mouth and say, "Drink." Who responds to basically create guns? There's not one country where that will basically manufacture gun, right? And even reports coming out, even for example in like Chicago and so forth, where them just find trailer load of gun or gun in a holly, just a bunch of gun just put on. Why? Esau set it up, yo. Who put Jake in the projects, the natives on reservations, and give them alcohol and drugs? Esau did that to ultimately destroy our people. They accused of our brethren, and nobody not cry out. No one cared, because what they did, they benefit off our slavery. As go to the book of Apocrypha, in the Apocrypha, book of First Maccabees. Let's get that real quick. First Maccabees 2, verse 10, it says, "What nation had not had a part in our kingdom and gotten of her spoils?" Everybody benefited. When we being down, them benefit. And now, I see what the most of Yahweh should try to flatten these nations here. All them must a bunch of wicked ass sellout. But people like to have compassion upon the heathens and hate them own. That's not going to be a part of the elect mindset here. The most that reform the elect. Now we see the true enemy. Right? Psalms 83. Back to Lamentations chapter 2 verse 16. It says, "All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, We have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we looked for. We have found, we have seen it. The Lord had done that which he devised. He had fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He had thrown down and had not pitied, and he had caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He had set up the horn of thine adversaries." That's why I want to go to the book of even Psalms. Let's get that. The scripture said, what did Edom say? Raise it, raise it. When we basically people start get licked with the wickedness when they've been doing, like even with Hurricane Maria, that was meeting from the Most High. But Esau want to get destroyed here, because he believes that if we get destroyed, then he can reign forever. but that'll never be the case. You're going to slavery, boy. It does say Yahweh Shem Shai. Psalms 137 and start at 7. It says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. Go back to the word raise it, go back to destroy. And I was even reading earlier, last night, I guess I remember, in the book of Baruch, you sure say what the Chaldeans actually came and destroy the temple, running poor people. They was always there. Esau, Edom was always there. Every time I fall, every time when one could sticky situation, Esau, Edom is always there to take out this anger and capitalize. And the nation them benefit. All them benefit off of slavery. One of the what you call that? One of the main source of capital for the Industrial Revolution into the streets was slavery. Then them go to rat step, they were the one that owned majority of the slave ships. They benefited. Our people are all over the world making all farm we call creations or discoveries, inventions, that the word I wanted. And what they do, what do they have for it? Nothing. Still being called niggers, still being looked at as nobodies, still being the first the last hired and first fired. Who are the one that's keeping up America being the main, labor force in the US? So-called immigrants, and look at what they do to them. Verse 8, it says, O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. And I'm going to have any kingdom, You're going to pay for all the wickedness we do. So back to Jeremiah chapter 5 and 6, it says, Thou hast forsaken me, saith the Lord, thou art gone backward. Therefore will I stretch out my hand against thee and destroy thee. I am weary of repenting. And that's why the Most High said the so-called white man against our people. I'm sick the white man off of it. Which the scripture speaks about the men being his hand. So he was men for beat with. He put in a slavery. But the scripture say what? Them help for the affliction. So the Most High was just a little displeased. But what did these nations do? Them take things to a whole different level. So therefore judgment is coming. But people always look to the so-called white man, always look to these heathens to help and turning them back against the Most High. And no matter how them seek help from these nations, they still not getting and still a try. It says, and I will fund them with a fund in the gates of the land. I will bereave them of children. I will destroy my people, since they return not from their ways. Yes, that's how people being smitten by the Most High. But these nations don't give a shit. Because them benefit. Once we don't, them hope. Them know that. Isaiah 30 verse 1, woe to the rebellious children, which saith that, saith the Lord, says that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may have sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked of my mouth, to strengthen themselves with the strength, in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. From back in these days, come straight up, people still trust in modern day Egypt. Everybody want a cat for America. It says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Because guess what? The man we look to, I like you. Look funny, but what the well, again, you never have a choice still. That's why you're supposed to vote. We're not supposed to vote for no heathen, Alright, Kamala Harris or Trump. Trump is literally a devil. The obvious. The Trump by devil. No one is supposed to rule over it. So Kamala Harris ruled out a long time. And not saying you're supposed to vote. You should have voted for creepy Biden. A devil that too. It says, can I stress it there? It says, the strength of fear, your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion. Because It's going to lead to your destruction. All you would have trust in these heathens. We're supposed to trust in Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, this is Isaiah 36 and 6. It says, Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed, on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. So anybody trust in, Esau went to slavery. That's the scriptures. And all these nations actually going to slavery. They want to get punished. And the scripture say what? The 100 and on, the wicked shall not go unpunished. So you're going to just get both for the so-called one. Since you decide, say, rebel against the Most High, and that's just being stupid. Right? But none of these nations give a shit about us, and it manifests over and over and over and over and over. Or people continue. Scripture says this as well when we go to the book of Jeremiah 50 verse 6. It says, My people had been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. It says, They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgone their resting place. All that found them have devoured them. All these nations devour we, Once them go up and away, you can't capitalize off of them and still look down upon people. While we are the reason why, look for even Egypt. You see me? Joseph was the one, that basically the Most High said preserve Egypt and make it become a great empire. And then a couple of years after that, we have to get rid of people there. Enslave them. All that found them had devoured them, and their adversaries said, We offend not. Trump being self-righteous. These Americans, self-righteous. They never do nothing wrong. Running them country, destabilize the country, set up them factory, and devalue country, like with IMF, devalue the country's currencies, and then pay little wages, sell out them resources, put them in debt. We offended not. That's what they say. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries, these heathens, chiefly the so-called white man, said, We offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. So they believe, because we transgressed and them deserve to do what we deserve anything with them give it. By Yahweh we deserve it, but not by you. Shall never put your hand on the half of the eyes of the Most High. This is Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 23. It says, And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore I hid my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So far fell they all by the sword. But the day have come on the Most High. I'm ready to read down. 25 says, Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. And then that's when you're going to witness the wrath of Yahweh. All these nations, we never show us no pity, they never have no mercy. Who cry out here? Who pity us? Which nation is here come out and say, I choose Jews and why America keep a fuckery? We declare war against you. None. No one cared. So with that, hope this is the fun tea like out there. Give now praise to our boy, how about Shem Shai, boy Shem Kakadash. The one is into elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And shalom to full leg. Shalom.